If you've gone through the work of building raised beds, planting your crops, and watering consistently, don't let all that effort go to waste. Mulch is the secret ingredient that ties everything together. A well-mulched raised bed holds moisture longer, suppresses weeds effortlessly, regulates soil temperature, and even builds fertility over time. But it's not just about throwing down any organic material. The timing, choice of mulch, and how thick you apply it all matter if you're aiming for real, sustained plant growth. Let's break down exactly how to mulch your raised beds for the biggest impact, step by step. The ideal time to mulch raised beds is after your seedlings have established, or once your transplants are safely rooted and growing. Mulching too early, especially in spring, can trap cold in the soil, slowing germination or stalling growth. But once the soil has warmed up and your plants are in active growth, it's time to mulch. Mid to late spring is usually the sweet spot. At this point, mulching helps the soil hold on to the warmth it's built up, keeps moisture from evaporating, and prevents weed seeds from taking advantage of bare soil. If you're planting later in summer, mulch immediately after planting to lock in moisture and protect soil from heat stress. In fall, mulch after cleaning up the bed to protect soil structure and prepare it for overwintering crops or spring planting. Before applying mulch, give your raised bed a quick tidy. Remove any weeds by the roots, including sneaky perennial runners that might sneak up under mulch later. Level the soil and water it deeply. Mulching dry soil can lock out water instead of helping it retain it. Moist soil beneath mulch means your plants get the hydration they need while the top layer stays protected. Don't skip this step. It's the foundation that makes mulch do its job properly. Not all mulches are created equal, especially in a raised bed environment. Straw is a top performer. It's light, easy to spread, and breaks down into rich organic matter quickly. Shredded leaves are another excellent choice, particularly in fall or if you've got access to a steady supply. They insulate the soil and attract earthworms like magnets. Grass clippings, if applied in thin layers and dried beforehand, provide quick-release nitrogen and decent moisture retention. Compost also works beautifully in raised beds, especially when combined with other mulches. It feeds the soil while acting as a protective layer. Avoid hay unless you're sure it's seed-free, and steer clear of bark mulch in raised beds. It breaks down slowly, robs nitrogen, and doesn't integrate well with vegetable crops. Once you've chosen your mulch, go ahead and apply it evenly across the bed at a depth of about 2 to 4 inches. Too thin and it just won't suppress weeds or hold moisture. But if you go too thick, you risk suffocating the soil or even harboring pests like slugs. Be mindful around plant stems. Keep mulch about an inch away from the base of each plant. This gap helps prevent excess moisture from building up around stems, which can lead to rot or disease. So, think of mulch as a protective blanket, not a smothering tarp. You want it thick enough to do the job, but still breathable enough to let air and water flow through. A properly mulched raised bed doesn't just sit there looking neat. It becomes a living part of your soil ecosystem. Weeds struggle to grow because mulch blocks light at the soil surface. Moisture stays locked in, reducing the need for frequent watering, especially helpful during dry spells or in regions with water restrictions. Soil temperatures stay more stable, which helps roots grow stronger and healthier. And as your mulch breaks down, it enriches the soil with organic matter that feeds beneficial microbes and improves structure year after year. Mulch isn't a set-it-and-forget-it solution. Over time, organic mulch breaks down, exactly what you want for soil health. But that also means you'll need to top it up periodically. Check your beds every few weeks. If the mulch has thinned to under an inch, it's time to add another layer. If weeds manage to push through, pull them early before they go to seed. In high rain areas or during heavy watering, mulch can sometimes shift, exposing bare soil. A quick rake and top-up keeps things in order. As your mulch layers break down, consider adding a light top dressing of compost between growing seasons to keep the soil nutrient-rich and balanced. One of the best ways to build fertility in a raised bed is to combine mulch types over the seasons. Start with compost in spring, add a layer of straw in summer, and finish with shredded leaves in fall. This layered approach mimics nature's own composting system and gives your soil constant inputs of organic matter. It's a passive way to garden smarter, not harder, and the results show up in your harvest. Mulching your raised beds the right way transforms your soil from a static growing medium into a living, breathing foundation for long-term plant health. Your plants will grow faster, resist stress better, and yield more, without constant weeding and watering. And as the seasons roll by, your soil only improves, becoming darker, looser, and more full of life. If you found this guide helpful, Don't forget to subscribe to HydroHaven for more soil-smart gardening insights. Share this video with fellow gardeners who could use a mulch makeover. Together, let's build beds that feed plants and the soil, one layer at a time.